Given that today is Day of the Dead and we've constructed an altar, put photos of the dearly departed loved ones, I don't have a photo of my father who died in mid-2011, so lacking that, I'm going to read a poem that was written by a sister of mine who's a well-known poet here in Australia. It's from a book of hers called The Argument, and the poem's called Backstory, and it's about my father and stories from his life. So that's going to be a way of remembering him. Como hoy es el Día de los Muertos y hemos construido un altar en honor a nuestros antepasados, los que ya fallecieron, nuestros seres queridos que queremos conmemorar. Ya falta una foto de mi papá, quien falleció ya hace un par de años, en el año 2011. Pues quisiera leer un poema que una de mis hermanas escribió. Ella es bien conocida como poeta aquí en Australia. Este es un poema de su libro The Argument, el Argumento, y el poema en cuestión se llama Backstory, o la historia de fondo. Ya empiezo. I'll start now. Backstory. Dad's late in his 70s before he thinks to mention, casually, like some item left off an inventory. We had big fires like that back in '39. Nowhere safe but the water. All of us kids sprinting, hopping in, hoping we wouldn't boil. When we got out at last, the town was gone, black and flattened, not a house standing. We didn't know how to get home. I know it's genuine because I've never heard this self-surprise at his own memory. Not like the tall tales of my childhood, pirates and smugglers, caves at Torquay, where in fact his biggest adventure, he admits later, was only to fall headfirst from a tree trying to hide when they called him to class. Those brothers were mean bastards. It takes years for the truth to unfold, to fill in the backstory. He otherwise glosses as School of Hard Knocks. Rough as guts and tough as buggery. I always chose to believe so as to meet head-on the thrill of disillusionment. Those teeth lost not from the feats of a football hero after all, but from bad food and no money for dentists. No money even for underpants till he reached his teens, the real being everything you'd never make up. Or asserting itself in the wretch he still feels that tinned plum jam, depression's staple, in his outrage when mum would leave crusts in the bread bin and open a new loaf, and the insistent scraping off of every burnt slice of toast, and yet the slathering for us children, hot, sarcastic mimicry of his own mother's anxious metrics. Be careful on the butter, boys, it's 1 8 a pound. The urging of meat on us, the wish for a barrel chest. I scanned the image. Victoria, areas swept by bushfires, January 1939. They look like bloodstains, or Empire Pink, or the shock of massacre maps, which are even more extensive for the same region, which no horror surpasses. And before him, his own father, itinerant worker, and his farmer, and his miner, who came from famine, apparently natural, but just as much by the hand of man as the Black Friday bushfire. How should I place them, these displaced yet colonial men? Invaded who turned invader, who leave neither myth nor anecdote, a family amnesia or fantasia, whom I can only imagine by tracking patterns of migration and looking at tendencies, who bequeath only this dubious double-edged blade of being survivor.